Hi everyone, it's been a little while, so first off, Merry Christmas. Today is Friday, December 28th, so Merry Christmas and Happy New Year. I just wanted to get on here and update everyone. It's been a little while since the last time I updated, probably a couple of weeks, I think, and just wanted to continue to update everyone on this journey that I'm on. Like I said, today is December 28th. It's for Friday, so it's a few days before the end of the year. So where to start? Okay, so I'm no longer doing the progesterone. I was doing the suppositories, and I did a video telling you that I was starting the suppositories, but I never updated how that went. So I did that for roughly a week. So I stopped them a week ago on the 21st. So Friday the 21st, I stopped the vaginal suppositories of the progesterone. It wasn't bad, actually. It was like you put a something like a little pill in an applicator, and you know, it was pretty simple, and I didn't really have any extreme side effects, so thank God for that. I don't think I had really any side effects. I would say the biggest issue that I had on the suppository was discharge. So yeah, so kind of quite a bit of discharge, and it wasn't just like, I guess it happened throughout the day. I know this is probably TMI, but you know, at this point, what can be TMI? As much stuff as we talk about. It kind of happened during the day, but sometimes I could just be standing talking to someone or something like that, and it would be a little bit of a rush where you feel like, let me excuse myself, go to the ladies' room and check out what's going on, because I'm like, can you feel uncomfortable. I never had any like leaking or anything, thank God, but it was still like an uncomfortable sometimes, just especially if I'd been sitting for a while. I guess similar to like, you know, your period. I mean, even though this didn't always happen to me, but I have heard of it happening to people, that if they were sitting for a long time, sometimes if they stood up, they'd have a bit of a rush of a period situation. I'm kind of dehydrated, and what happens to me, I know I'm not segueing well, I'm just going into a new topic. I'm sure you can see my lips kind of discolor sometimes when I get dehydrated. You know, you can see that at the bottom and kind of on the top lip a little bit. It goes away once I hydrate, but it's been really hard for me to stay as hydrated as I think I need to, because sometimes with the morning sickness, it's been a little hard for me to keep as much fluids down as I'd like to. And sometimes I just don't want to put anything in my stomach. I don't know if that makes sense, but I'm like, I don't want to drink, I don't want to eat, I don't want anything. And then sometimes all I want to do is eat, and then I don't really want to drink anything. And then I was having a hard time keeping flat water down, regular water. Then I changed to, I realized I could drink seltzer, something I never used to be. Like, I was never a seltzer person, but I had an easier time keeping seltzer down than just flat water. So I don't know, maybe it was the bubbles that appealed to me. I don't know what it was, but I was able to keep the seltzer down more than I could keep just like regular, you know, non-sparkling water. But seltzer ain't free, so we're like, you know, I have filters and all that, and can get all that good water at home, but seltzer is something I have to buy. I do have one of those, can't think of the name of the soda stream things that you can make your own soda, but you know, without adding the soda additives and all that, it is just seltzer water, so you can make your own seltzer with that. So I can do that. I hadn't been doing it, so I hope to start doing that. But even with that, you know, it's like the you have to buy replacements of the carbonation thing to keep it carbonated. But anyway, so yeah, that explains what's going on there, because I'm noticing it as I record, and I'm like, you know, whatever. I don't care. I'm gonna be honest, I have felt pretty terrible off and on. Some days are better than others. The doctor actually, my OBGYN doctor, she gave me a prescription for my nausea. So that's been pretty, let me see if I can show it to you. Sorry, I should have had this ready. These weird pills, she gave me a prescription for, and they're, what's it called? I think it's like B6 and some sort of antihistamine or something in it. She said it's supposed to be extended relief, and so it won't make me as drowsy, although it can make you drowsy. And the last thing I need, as much as I've been sleeping, the last thing I need is really to be drowsy. I don't know if I'll be able to show it to you. There's just little white pills, but what I think is interesting is that they have a drawing of a pregnant woman on them. So it's like, could you be more discreet? I guess it doesn't really matter. Just little white tablets, but they do have a drawing on them of a little pink pregnant woman on the outside. So let's see if I can show this to you. Okay, I'm all over the place. I don't know if you'll be able to see it. You probably can't see it. See if I can get it to focus. Yeah, I don't know if you can make it out, but there's like a little pink pregnant woman weird. But anyway, so these are the pills. It says like Diclegis, Diclegis. So so they're 10 milligram tablets. I don't know. Have they been working? So my doctor put I would take one tablet by mouth every 8 hours as needed. So I think they work. But you know, so that would be 3 times a day, every 8 hours, if you were going to do it like that. But I tend to take them kind of as needed, usually twice a day. I think they work somewhat. I don't know. I didn't take it yesterday. Yesterday I left them at home. I went to work. I didn't take the pills. And yesterday ended up being a pretty bad day for me. So by the time I got home, I was so nauseous riding the train back, the bumping of the subway, my head was spinning. But this hadn't happened in a few weeks, and I thought it was more so linked to the progesterone shot, because I felt really bad. Like I had the chills and all that stuff with the progesterone shot. And then when I got off the shot and I started doing the suppository, I thought that would end, and it had gotten better because I didn't really feel that for the week that I was doing the suppository so much. And I've been off the suppository for a week. But yesterday I felt horrible. Like I was just able to go home and get undressed and get in bed, and that was it. Like there was really, you know, that was the end of my night. And I probably slept off and on from about, I don't know, 7 something last night till about 5 o'clock a.m., which is normally when I get up. I'm a pretty early riser. I try to get to work early. So yeah, so I try to get to work early so I can hopefully get out of here early. It doesn't work like that all the time, but that is the thought. So that's the goal. So because I'm done with the progesterone, I'm no longer seeing the IVF doctor. And so that's pretty cool. I just got a voicemail. It was weird. I was over them. I was so over them. I was so ready to be done with this whole process. But I got a voicemail, and the voicemail just essentially said that my progesterone level was looking good. It was 22, and that I could stop doing the suppositories. But I thought he might wean me off of them, but he didn't. It was just like, okay, stop doing the suppositories, follow up with your OBGYN, and, you know, congratulations, good luck, and you no longer need to come see us, which I was pretty happy about, because I was a little tired of going there to constantly get this blood work done and to continue on these suppositories and all the other progesterone stuff. So if I never have to shoot myself with another needle again, you know, sure, I don't know, ladies. I commend everyone. I know plenty of women do cycle and cycle and cycle of this. I just, your resolve, your determination, your perseverance, I mean, you're just so much better than I am, because I'm already like, man, if I had known what I was getting myself into. I know every pregnancy is different, even for the same woman. You know, you have more than one pregnancy, they're not all going to be the same, but you know, the morning sickness has really been something I don't think I was prepared for. And I don't know how you could prepare yourself for it if you've never gone through it before. So it was just something that I was just like, okay, I just can't. I can't. But I have no choice. I have to ride it out. Like I said, I do have this prescription. But, you know, it's not perfect. And it only really helps with nausea. So, you know, just like those Preggy Pop drops that I have that have the B6, and I don't even take them or use them anymore, because a lot of times when I'm nauseous, I don't even want the candy, because it's kind of a sour sweet, but I'm just like, I don't want this, I don't want that. You know, I get in this mood where I don't want anything. You know, sometimes I don't even want to take the pill because I don't want to swallow anything, you know. I don't know if that makes sense, but whatever. So yeah, so that's that. So I had my first OBGYN appointment on December 20th. I like the doctor. I'm not using my normal gynecologist. I completely switched doctors. So I like her. She was really nice. She also ended up being black, which I love. Didn't know she was black. I probably should have looked her up. But I was just like, whatever, you accept my insurance, you're convenient, I'm going to go to you. That is how I chose her. And I was actually pleasantly surprised to see that she was a black doctor, which is great. I love seeing, I mean, you know, it wouldn't really matter to me. And she kind of snuck me because her name did not, I know this is a bit of a stereotype, but sometimes the names you kind of can tell a little bit, but her name did not give her away at all. So I was like, oh, wow. So, so kudos to her parents, because they did her a service. Because let's be realistic, sometimes people do judge you by your names. And if you don't know that yet, keep that in mind when you're naming children, because people do judge people by their names. That is the truth. It's not me making that up. That is the truth. People see names and they automatically decide you are a certain person, or you're a certain way, or you're going to be a certain way. And it's just the world we live in. And whether it's conscious or subconscious, people do that. So you should always be mindful of that. But it's nothing you could do when it's your name, right? But you can do it when you're naming children. Okay, so I went to the OBGYN appointment, and it was a pretty good appointment. Everything looked fine. I did explain to her that I was concerned about gaining a lot of weight. I do not want to gain a ton of weight. But it's hard, because my resolve, like I came into this like, I'm going to work out every day. I'm going to, you know, eat just what I need to eat, and, you know, just keep, you know, at moderate levels of every food and not go crazy. And I'll tell you that when I'm nauseous, if I want something, and I know sometimes it's weird, because if you're nauseous, why do you want to eat? Well, I don't know. Being pregnant, sometimes when I'm nauseous, I do want to eat something. Sometimes I don't. It really depends. And when I want to eat something, I don't care what it is. And sometimes it's the worst stuff that I want to eat. And I haven't been doing a good job. I've been trying to work out. Before the whole IVF process, I worked out 7 days a week. I think I had 1 week where they, you know, after they cleared me to start working out, where I started working out. I got 7 days in that week and then I started spotting. They told me to take it easy, and then so I haven't had another 7-day-a-week workout week. I've done 5 days 1 week I've done six days. I'm trying to still work out as much as I can. I do know my energy is down because I'm always tired. I do know that I'm a lot more easily shortness of breath. So, you know, so I'm not necessarily working out the same level that I was before. Although my doctor, my OBGYN, did tell me that I could. She said that you could work out at the same level that you were working out before the pregnancy. So if you were working out 7 days a week, you could work out 7 days a week at the same level. I have absolutely no restrictions, which kind of makes me feel bad, because when I can't work out at that level, I'm just kind of like, why can't I just push myself to make, you know, to get there? But she did also say, you know, don't beat yourself up over it. But I just kind of wonder, why can't I, like, you know, push myself? So I'm still working out. At least 5 days a week is going to be my minimum. But I'm trying to do 6, and on a good week 7, but most weeks so far have been 5 to 6 times a week. But it doesn't mean I'm not gaining weight, because when I went to the OBGYN, I was up about 4 pounds from when I started the IVF process. Well, I say 6 pounds from when I started the IVF process, because when I weighed myself at home, I was 2 pounds lighter than when I got weighed at the doctor's office. So 4 to 6 pounds. So when they started me on IVF, they weighed me, and I came in 2 pounds heavier than I did when I weighed myself at home. I don't know. Let's blame it on their scale. But whatever the fact is, so when she weighed me, I was 4 pounds heavier. So she did say that the hormones and stuff tend to make people, especially with IVF, tends to make people gain weight. But either way, I'm hoping to not put on a lot of weight. She said that most women gain between 25 and 35 pounds. That's average. But you don't have to gain 25 pounds. So I'm trying to I don't know. We'll see where it ends up, because like I'm telling you now, my resolve and determination that I've had going into this has not really held up the way that I thought it would. So, you know, I'm hoping to not necessarily gain 25 pounds, but, you know, this is what I'm saying today, and I'm not quite 11 weeks along in this pregnancy. So, I have an official due date. It is now July 20th. I was a little off, and I blame it on the IVF people. I actually think, even though they should have been doing the count perfectly, they were a little off. They had me thinking it was July 23rd, but I think they were counting from the transfer date, but the OBGYN, she's counting from the retrieval date. So since this was a 3-day transfer, those 3 days, so instead of being the 23rd, it's July 20th. So that means as of today, December 28th, I am 10 weeks, 6 days, because tomorrow I will be 11 weeks. So, right? Or something like that. Tomorrow I'll be 11 weeks. That's what I do now. So yeah, so that kind of, you know, changed that a little bit. So I had to do, my blood pressure was a little high at the first appointment. It wasn't that high, but it was 130/80, which I actually thought was pretty good. But, you know, because it's been higher, and sometimes going to the doctors is high, especially, you know, I tend to be a little nervous going to doctors, especially new doctors. But she said that it's a little high for pregnancy, so she's going to watch it. So, of course, my pregnancy is considered high risk, but for not because of the blood pressure thing, but because I'm 35, so I have advanced maternal age, which is BS if you ask me, but it is what it is. So 35, because I am 35, technically over 35, and once the baby is born, I'll be 36. So that puts me in the advanced maternal age category, which makes it high risk. It also is an IVF pregnancy, so that makes it high risk. And then she said also, if you add in the, they're going to monitor my blood pressure. But everything else seemed fine. The baby was this whatever size it was supposed to be. I got to hear the heartbeat, which was nice. I am still somewhat emotionally detached, so I'm sorry. I don't know. At some point, maybe I'll feel a little more connected, but it hasn't happened yet. I'm sure it'll happen. Yesterday, I had to go and get this, I think it's called Maternity 21 blood test. It's something they do for older moms, because I am over 35. It tests Down syndrome and other various chromosomal abnormalities. It'll also tell you the sex of the baby, which we do not want to know. So we are not going to find out the gender until the child is born. So I know we're going to do things a little differently. So there'll be no gender reveals here because I just don't want to know. I want the surprise at the end. So yeah, so I had to do this MAT21 test, but I don't have the results. I just did the test yesterday. It takes 2 weeks for it to come back. And so in 2 weeks, they'll let us know about, you know, all the chromosomal stuff, which is the most important. And they'll ask whether I want to know the gender, to which I will respond no, because we do not want to know at this point. I have another appointment with the OBGYN scheduled for January 14th. So until then, you know, I don't have to go to any doctors, I believe. So, you know, that gives me a little more than 2 weeks, you know, with no doctors, I guess. It's a little more than 2 weeks. Yeah, you know. So I saw her last week, so it's roughly like 3 weeks that I'm going back. I thought it was supposed to be 4 weeks, but I think this is what they had available. Anyway, so, and on that day, I actually have 2 appointments. I have some sort of radiology scan to be done in addition to the ultrasound. So I'll tell you more about that and what is to test for. I think that's also the test for some sort of, I don't know. I think that one may be Down syndrome too. I don't know. It's a lot of, because I'm older, I'm an older mom. I have so many different tests I have to take, because it's like, you know, everything could be wrong. So this maternity 21 test that I did, yeah, it's the chromosomal test, but maybe it doesn't test Down syndrome, but I thought it did test Down syndrome. But I do know I have some sort of radiology test that I'm doing on the 14th, where they like test the thickness of the fluid on the baby's neck or something like that. I can be describing it totally wrong, and I'll probably tell you more about it as I am a little more sure exactly of what's going on. They did tell me, but you know, I was like, okay, so many tests. You know, they took a whole bunch of blood when I was there. There's so many tests. You don't know what's going on sometimes. As long as everything comes back fine, I'm good with it. So that's really my update now, and I hope everyone is well. I hope to come back soon and give you another update pretty much on symptoms, but my symptoms remain unchanged. I'm hoping that the second trimester will bring some relief. I will be in the second trimester soon. It's crazy how quickly this is moving, because I have really 1 more week to this first trimester. But my doctor, the OBGYN doctor, did tell me that the hormone levels usually level off at 14, 15 weeks. So even though I will be out of the first trimester in a week, I may still have a few more weeks of, a couple more weeks of, you know, symptoms. But hopefully it'll start, you know, it'll start leveling off soon so I can feel better, because, you know, between the nausea and the vomiting's not every day, but the headaches and the extreme tiredness, I don't know. Anyway, ladies, I pray that all is well with you and that you have a wonderful new year, and that 2019 brings you everything your heart desires and all types of success and love, and to everyone trying to conceive a baby. that's it for me. I'm just trying to make sure I updated you on everything, but I think that's it. So that's it for me for now, and I'll try to post pictures from the OBGYN ultrasound, because I actually got to see, I did that. I was technically 9 weeks, 5 days when that was done, and I got to see the baby move. It's kind of weird, kind of wiggles. It was kind of doing a little wiggle dance on the screen. It is weird to see them moving, and to know that the babies move that early is weird. I mean, I can't feel it, but it's weird because it's just in there wiggling around. I'm kind of like, who told you you could do that? Where do you get off being your own person that you can make decisions to wiggle and dance or whatever it is you're doing, you know? It's almost like I've realized I have no control over this kid. You know, already it does what it wants to do. So, you know, it's in there just wiggling and dancing or whatever on the screen, which I just thought was so odd because it makes it like it's a real person, right? It's like you were a cell a minute ago. How are you now twisting and dancing and, you know, wiggling around constantly, actually? I mean, I don't feel it, but it's weird because it could be going on right now. So to me, that's just kind of, I don't know, it's odd. But it's cool, you know, the miracle of, I don't know, growing a baby or whatever this is. The miracle of life, I guess you would call it. But yeah, so I got to see that, and that was actually interesting because it made it feel like, okay, this is a real thing. But again, I can't feel it. It just, you know, I just see it on the screen. It's too early for me to feel it at this point. But anyway, I will talk to you all soon, and pray for me. Keep me in your prayers. I'll pray for you. Everyone have, you know, a safe, happy, healthy New Year and holiday season, and we will talk soon.